I just wanted to share a book that I'm exploring and just throw out a new author if you would like something. This is a snippet I read this week, and it sort of, I don't know, I like the way people word things and I like meditating on them. So I might not break it down that much, but maybe you can meditate on it with me. I'm going to turn my phone around. It's called GeorgeMacDonald, Discovering the Character of God, I guess, and also my homemade torn paper bookmarks. George MacDonald lived in the 1800s, wrote in the 1800s. He's, maybe a little bit more wordy than what we're used to, and so I take him just short little paragraphs and just think on them. I can't read like a whole book written by him, but I don't mind that. I keep authors like this that are, C.S. Lewis or George MacDonald or someone, and I use them for a paragraph here and there just to break up the other books I'm reading. So this chapter I wanted to share just to maybe expose you to his style or why I guess I enjoy him and see what you think. It's called The Only Cure. Okay, the only cure. The cause of every man's discomfort is evil, moral evil. First of all, the evil that is in himself, his own sin, his own wrongness, own unrightness. But then secondly, it is the evil in those he loves. Well, that's true. Like we wrestle every day, like I'm hung up on my issues, but then more often than not, we're hung up on everyone else's issues. And so he goes on to say, with the latter, the evil in those we love, really the only way to get rid of that is for man to get rid of his own sin. Foolish is the man, and there are many of us who think this way, who would rid himself or his fellows of discomfort by setting the world right and waging war on the evil around him when he's actually neglecting the integral part of the world that lies in his own business, which should be his first business, namely his own character, his own conduct. Because even if it were possible, an absurd supposition he calls that the world could be thus righted from the outside, it would be impossible for such a man remaining what he was to even enjoy the perfection of this result, for he would yet be out of tune with the organ that he just tuned. No evil can be cured in mankind except by it being cured in individual men and women, because rightness alone is the cure. The return of the organism of man to his true self, which is the only possible way to ease our discomfort. To free a man or woman from suffering, he or she must be set right or put into health. And the health that is at the root of man's being is actually his rightness, or to be free from sin. I don't mean set free from the sins he has done, for that will follow. I mean the sin that is his being, which spoils his nature, the wrongness in him, the sin that he just is, which makes him do the sin that he does. To save a man from both his sin and his sins is to say to him, in a perfect and eternal sense, rise up and walk. Be at liberty in your essential being. To do this for us, Jesus was born and remains born for all ages. When misery drives a man to call out to the source of life, this promised deliverance will in all probability not be what the man desired, because he will want only to be rid of suffering, but that he cannot have except in being delivered from its essential root, a thing that is infinitely worse than the suffering it is producing. If he will not have complete root deliverance, he must keep his suffering. There can be no deliverance but to come out of this evil dream and for us to step into the glory of God. Now, I just find that so powerful, and I love the way he worded that, and it gives me just great soul food to think about how often, even in any 24 hours, I am looking to simply eliminate feelings of suffering and not the root that I need. And my essential being will not change if I am not dealing with the root. If you haven't considered the very base root, which is salvation in Jesus, I encourage you to do that, and then continue to explore with me that what we want is to be made whole, to be made in health, which is rightness. It is walking in the glory of God, and I'm sure you can break it down even better than I am at the moment. I just want to hear if you have thoughts, but also I want to please explore George MacDonald. He has many other writings and things, but don't be afraid if some of it isn't palatable, just enjoy little taste. I tell my kids, you never have to read a whole book. Enjoy a page. Enjoy a sentence. It's beautiful. Okay? Explore with me and have a great night.